A very good morning to all. Welcome to the webinar on What's New in Vembu BDR Suite version 3.5. My name is Manoj and I'm here a part of sales engineering with Vembu Technologies. I'll be hosting today's session. I see attendees are quickly joining this session, so let's leave a couple of minutes for everyone to get joined and then we can go ahead and get started. Thank you. Hope all the attendees have joined the session. We'll go ahead and get started. So before we start, let me set the ground rules for today's session. You're automatically in mute. However, you have a question box. So during the session, if you got any questions, please post it on the question box. And by the end of the session, we'll spend some time in answering the questions. So let's start with a quick intro on the company profile. Vembu Technologies is founded in the year 2004. We are a private company, profitable since 2006. We have 4,000 plus channel partners and we reached more than 60,000 businesses so far. We are headquartered in Chennai, India. 70% of our customers are from North America, 20% from Europe, and the rest 10% from Asia Pacific region. So Vembu BDR Suite is actually a one-stop solution for all your backup and disaster recovery needs, designed to meet the requirements of small and medium-sized businesses. It has a bundle of products together, and they are Vembu VM Backup, which is meant for backup and replication for VMware and Hyper-V, Vembu Image Backup, which is meant for backup and bare metal recovery of physical Windows servers and desktops. Vembu Network Backup is used for performing granular file folder level backups and also for performing backup of applications like Microsoft Exchange, SQL, SharePoint, Active Directory, MySQL, etc. Vembu Online Backup is purely a cloud-based solution where you can perform backup directly to Vembu Cloud, which is running on Amazon secured environment, whereas Vembu SaaS Backup is a backup solution for backing up SaaS applications like Office 365 and Google Apps. Adding to that, we do have some add-on products, and they are Vembu Offsite DR that helps you to have a redundant copy of the data to be replicated to an offsite data center from your BDR server. Whereas Vembu Cloud DR helps you to set up a hybrid cloud environment where you can have the additional backup copy replicated to Vembu Cloud, so that in case of disaster, you can even perform a DR directly from Vembu Cloud servers. And Vembu BDR 360 is a software that helps you to have 24/7 flexible monitoring of all your BDR server from single centralized portal. And Vembu Universal Explorer is a software that helps you to perform granular recovery of your applications like Exchange, SQL, SharePoint, Active Directory. Say if it is an Exchange, you can even perform a mail level restore from your image backups with Universal Explorer. So before we jump into the product, we just need an understanding of what is an RPO and RTO. RTO is nothing but recovery time. Objective is how much time duration taken to recover a backed up machine after a disaster, whereas RPO is like up to which point we can recover a machine after a disaster. We are glad to say that with Vembu BDR, you can achieve an RPO and RTO of 15 minutes. So let me explain how we can achieve this RTO of 15 minutes with BDR. It's like we provide an instant virtual machine recovery. Say if the backup machine is down, you can immediately spin a virtual machine up and running on backup service hypervisor. An instant file level recovery where you can do a file level recovery of the image backups from the server. And for applications like Exchange, SharePoint, SQL, you can perform instant application level recovery from the same backup. And RTO is like where you can run the backups every 15 minutes with Vembu VM Backup. So at any point of time, if you take a disaster recovery, you can achieve an RTO of less than 15 minutes with BDR. So RPO is like how we achieve RPO of 15 minutes means we have an automated backup and replication scheduling in BDR, and the backup frequencies start from 15 minutes. So you can assure the RPO happens every 15 minutes by configuring a backup schedule in such a way. Even for the same applies for image level as well as VMware Hyper-V backups. And backup verification. So the backed up data should be recoverable. If not, the backups are worthless. So we have come across several scenarios while performing disaster recovery. The administrators realize that the actual backed up data is corrupted. So to avoid such scenarios, we have implemented something called backup verification, where post completion of the backup schedule or once in a day, an automated check happens on all the backed up data, and the backed up machines are booted up, and the boot screen will be captured, and those screenshots will be emailed to the administrators. We call it as a backup verification report. Just by taking at the report, you can ensure that all the backed up machines are bootable, consistent, and good to go with at any point of time. And how we achieve all these is like we have our own efficient storage management file system called Vembu Hive. It's actually a file system of file systems which has an inbuilt version control, inbuilt compression, deduplication, encryption, and error correction mechanism in it. And there are several requirements for performing migration of physical to virtual, virtual to physical, between hybrid virtual environments like VMware to Hyper-V or vice versa. Vembu supports instant creation of VMDK, VST, and RAW files of the backed up physical or virtual machine, so that you can start performing the migrations instantly without performing a manual restore of hours and spending time and resource. So this is the architecture of Vembu BDR suite, where we have a Vembu BDR server software installed on a server machine, where you have the storage connected to it, and using with the centralized Vembu BDR server, you can back up VMware Hyper-V environment. You can back up physical image backups and perform backup of Office 365, Google Apps with SaaS backup, and you can even perform backup applications of Exchange SQL, SharePoint, MySQL to the common BDR server. And from there, if you want to replicate to have a redundant copy, you can replicate to an offsite data center, where you can have a SAN, NAS, or any storage connected, or you can even replicate the data to Vembu Cloud, where our cloud servers are deployed in Amazon secured environment, and the data will be managed in secured S3 storage. So here comes the heart of the session. What's new in Vembu BDR Suite version 3.5? So now Vembu BDR supports a very simple deployment method which allows you to configure and manage VMware and Hyper-V backups from the BDR server console itself. And it supports VMware Failover and Failback for replicated VMs, IP and network remapping during failover, and you can perform agentless Hyper-V backup, where there is no need of installing agents inside the virtual machines for performing a Hyper-V backup. And we do support SMB share support for Hyper-V backup. So the simple deployment method is like from Vembu BDR server's web-based console, you can configure VMware or Hyper-V backup just by directly adding an ES6i server, a vCenter, or a Hyper-V host server into this server console. And from there, you can configure backup, manage backup, perform disaster recovery, perform instant machine level recovery, application level recovery, even file level recovery. So one single console, and you can make all backup and disaster recovery operations from there. So that's why we call it as a very simple deployment. And when it comes to failback and failover, automatic failover of the replicated VMs from the target ES6i host happens here, and you have an option to set up IP and network mapping while configuring the replication jobs. So while configuring itself, you can define using which network the failback or failover should happen, and in failover you can have it as a temporary failover, or you can even commit to have it as a permanent failover, or you can even undo that failover at any point of time depending upon your convenience. And when it comes to failback, the same way, you can commit a failback on the production ES6i host, or you can even undo the failback if you are manually performing or creating the machine over there. So these are the features of BDR Suite version 3.5. So let me go ahead and show you how the BDR 3.5 console looks like and how we perform backup and recovery. So this is the single centralized console of the Vembu BDR Suite version 3.5. So in this BDR central console, you can configure backup, perform recovery, perform VM replication from this single console. Let's say if I want to configure a VMware backup, I can click on backup VMware vSphere, and it will have an option to directly add an VMware vSphere server to this particular BDR server. So all you need to do is like just click on add VMware server, provide the credentials of your ESXi server or vCenter over here, and then once when it is added, it will be automatically listed on the available VMware servers. So what happens is like you just need to go ahead and select that particular VMware server. Already I added one from my test bed. I just click on backup now, so it will communicate with that particular ESXi server, and it will pop up all the VMs running inside that particular server. So I can go ahead and pick what all the machines I want to backup, and I can directly start running the backup. So now it will go ahead and pop up the machines. So I'll just go ahead and select the backup VMs and start running the backup. So you can see like this is the VMware server I have selected, and it will just pop up the machines running inside it. And the same applies to Hyper-V. So just instead of adding an ESXi, I'll be adding an Hyper-V, where I can just select the VMs on the Hyper-V server and start running the backup. So when it comes to VMware application, the only thing is like the same way you can add a VMware server, and instead of backing up the data to a local BDR server, when you click on replicate, now it will allow you to enter a target ESXi host, where you will be able to add to which or to which VMware environment you want to replicate the VMs. So at any point of time, you can perform instant failback and failover of those replicated VMs from the target ESXi environment. So when it comes to recovery, you have various levels of recovery. As we discussed, it can perform an instant machine level recovery by performing an instant boot, or instant file level recovery by directly attaching the backup to the BDR servers disk management. And as I said, we have a dedicated tool called Vembu's Universal Explorer, from where you can perform a granular recovery of applications on it. So going forward, we'll be focusing on performing dedicated backup and recovery of VMware Hyper-V and physical servers, and what are all the backup and DR features available on version 3.5 on our upcoming webinars. So stay tuned to our webinars happening on a weekly basis, so that you can take a deep insight on Vembu BDR Suite version 3.5. And also I would like to mention Vembu BDR Suite version 3.5's beta is already available. So if you are interested to give it a try, just feel free to get in touch with our support desk, and we'll be happy to provide you the download links for Vembu BDR Suite version 3.5. So as I mentioned, these are all the recovery options there, where you can perform an instant machine level boot, perform a live restore to an ESXi server, instant file level recovery, or disk level restore, or you can even download it as a VST VMDK, flat VMDK, VSTX, or raw file format, depending upon the environment where you can perform P2V or V2P migration. So this is an high-level overview of Vembu BDR Suite version 3.5. Now it's time for questions. If you got any questions, please post it on the question box. We'll be happy to answer for it. So here comes a question called do I have an option to do a selective replication to an offsite BDR server when it comes to a virtual machine backup? Yeah, of course you can. What we do is like on a backup job level, you can do a selective replication to the offsite DR server. So whatever the VMs you want to replicate to offsite server, just create a dedicated backup job for it, and you can just replicate it selectively to the offsite DR server. So the next question is like, how about upgrading from 3.1 to 3.5? Will there be a upgrade path for between these two versions? Yes, of course, we do provide an upgrade path for the customers using version 3.1, where once the production version is available, you can upgrade it to version 3.5. We still keep getting a lot of questions, but unfortunately we are running out of time. So what we do is like we will get in touch with you dedicatedly from our support team, from our support, and we will give you elaborated answers for your questions then. And if you got any other questions, you can just get in touch with us anytime. You can send an email to vembu-support at vembu.com. Also, you can mail us at vembu-sales at vembu.com. Once again, thank you all for joining the session. Have a wonderful day.